Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or with the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please note in particular the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so if you could, please read that article and share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please go ahead and utilize the headphones, all right? All right, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised, all right? All right, where we left off. We're going to bust this in two, folks. As noted in Section 3B, FDA convened the panel meeting on April the 24th, 2014 in an open public forum to discuss issues related to the FDA's consideration of the ban of ESDs for SIB or AB. First of all, that is incorrect. The reason that panel meeting ever happened in the first case in regards to bringing a ban on this particular GED, let's put it this way. The hearing was not about all the other skin shock devices out in the universe. Nobody was coming in to that hearing in order to express the horrors of using an SIBIS machine to stop smoking. Okay? Nobody was there for that. So, what is this saying here, folks? Again, another problem that could have been solved with naming the device in question that is up for debate instead of using broad statements and therefore literally confusing the fuck out of all of us. Okay? Because that panel was put together in regards to banning the GED, nothing else. But let's go ahead and read on, shall we? Although the FDA is not required to hold a panel meeting before banning the device, the FDA decided to do so in the interest of gathering as much data and information as possible from experts relevant in medical fields as well as all interested stakeholders, and in the interest of obtaining independent expert advice on the scientific and clinical matters at issue. To try to combat with the FDA, but it doesn't show any recent data. Let me put it bluntly to you, it's because that data does not exist beyond the mid to late 90s. The majority of the articles written by others in peer-reviewed journals date back so far as to be ridiculous and does not add any particular weight to JRC's argument whatsoever. Okay? Just saying. You can't gather data that doesn't exist, folks. That is my point. to try to argue that you should be able to continue to use a torture device because no one in the outside world with a half decent brain and a conscience is ever going to agree to conduct those studies. It's really that simple. Really that simple. 18 panelists with expertise in both pediatric and adult patients represented the following biomedical specialties: psychology, psychiatry, neurology, neurosurgery, bioethics, and statistics. Panels including representatives for patients, industry, and consumers. So, since we know that there is no facility, no research center, no nothing that is willing to conduct said studies with a control group because they feel that doing so using the GED device is unethical, it means you're never going to get that data. So, what do you do in a situation where there's no data to be had because everybody else has figured out that torturing people is bad? That leaves us with the expert opinions in the field. It leaves us with the testimony of the survivors, with the video surveillance footage of what the JRC gets up to with their said device. It relies on DESI reports. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why it does so is because it has to. Because there is no data, either good or bad, to be able to be used in this situation. Because everybody else has already deemed it completely unethical. We're going to close on that, folks. I did tell you I was going to go ahead and split it in half. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this afternoon. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you in a moment.